Alright, so we got a BMW X3, 2012 model right here. We're going to be doing today, removing the turbo. We're going to be replacing the turbo on this guy here. As you notice, I've got it on jack stands already, and this is going to be our job. Up here, so the n20 engine right here. So you're going to be removing the turbo situated down in there. So step-by-step process about how to remove this turbo. Remember, this is a twin power turbo, twin scroll, not twin turbo. We'll have to remove this cover. Remember, you got two clips in here to remove. So remember, you push forward and you pull. Push forward, get it out, you pull here, push forward, squeeze both ends, and you pull. And this is how you remove this connection right here. You gotta push forward, squeeze both ends, and you pull it out. This is how you get it out. Then you can remove this guy here. Okay, so this line right here, disconnect this line, put it out of the way. Yeah, so that's all. As well, I'll also be replacing this right here, this whole entire valve cover. I'm replacing even new one, so hence why I'm heading down. I'm removing all these things on top of here. But as to the turbo, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to remove on this end here to actually get it out. Okay, so we're taking this guy out. We're going to unplug this. Plug along here. And unplug this part. This guy out. So we get the first part out. This guy's out, and then we remove this hose here. Going up to put this guy off. I've already unscrewed it here. I've already unscrewed this. So get this guy out here. This guy out. As you can see, hose is off. So the hose here. So next to disconnect this guy is resting on top here. And there's another clip here. So this guy is out of the way. There's him over here. Then we're going to disconnect this guy next. This is the feed line, vacuum line, which goes to the back here. Now, for this guy here, there's usually there is a 10 nuts inside here that you have to remove to loosen this guy up. But mine didn't have the nuts, so this is hence why I just pull it out. See, the 10 nut hooks inside there. It's connected down inside here. You can see it right there. So if you ever wondered about changing your diverter valve, which you can see is in the back here. You can see clearly that piece right there, that black piece right there. This guy right here, change the diverter valve, the easiest way to change it, and especially if you got this right in your way. There are actually two, if you can see there. You did a T40s right in there. You remove those T40s and you remove this entire bracket with this assembly. You just gotta pull this line right here, and then you just gotta pull the pin of this guy down here, and you're able to remove this entire unit from here. What it does now is actually gives you all the space you need. As well, you remove this guy here with the charge pipe, and it gives you all the spaces that you need to remove the diverter valve. If you can remove it as it is there right now, you get a lot of hindrances where the diverter valve is not able to come out easily. So remove those two bolts. This whole thing here will come out, and you're gonna see how it's gonna be. I'll show you in a while. See, like I mentioned, remove those two screws. Remove that pin in the back here. Everything comes out. And you got all this space in the world to do what you need. So the charge pipe has to come out next. You're gonna go to the back and get the lower part here, the cutter. Get it disconnected at the union, and then you're able to tackle the turbo itself. Another thing you can do, well, you should do, is this guy right here. These are three. I believe they are E8s. Holding on to this, remove this flap, and it gives you all the access to because remember you have to dismount the exhaust manifold as well. So you show the exhaust down here, the teeth, and the exhaust manifold bolts are right here. So you need to get those off. This actually, removing this actually gives us more room to work and make it a whole lot easier. The turbo itself will be coming out from the underside of the vehicle, so you have to remove the guards and the plate that's there also. So you can see with the flap out, all this more space to work with. You have better access to the exhaust manifold bolts right here. So next we're going to unplug the diverter valve and remove the charge line here. Move that unplugged out of the way. Maybe a bit of a missing style. Sometimes you got to use a pick to get it out. So charge pipe is completely off now. So next step from here, actually you have to release. I don't know if you can see it straight down in this guy right there, that bolt right there, as a mount. Actually release both of those mounts because you will have to raise the engine up a bit to get a little bit of room to get the turbo out. Because remember the exhaust manifold and the turbo has to come out together. So you have this guy and this guy all attached as one unit. So you need a little extra space in the back here. So you have to raise the engine up a bit. So for this reason, you'll have to release the exhaust manifold. The engine mounts. Make sure your vehicle is secure properly. Raise the engine mounts carefully. Raise the engine carefully. After releasing all the bolts from the exhaust manifold, and remember you have your feed lines as well that you have to release. Okay, we're gonna get to those. I'm just making mention of those things. So now we've gotten all the guards off from underneath here. Gives you a better idea. So what we're looking for up here, you can see I've got something leaking here. That's why we're replacing the turbo. It happens to be leaking in the turbo. So this is what we're going to remove right here. Remove this band, and then actually the clamp here is usually you're supposed to have a clamp here. This one is gone already, and then you're going to loosen the strap at the top. Okay, if you're gonna get this thing, the 13 at the top, not from here, you're gonna get it from the top of the vehicle, and then you'll be able to pull this guy. Now you got two. To mention, you have two right here. The two, really the 16s, 15s. Double check. You're gonna get these two out. Actually, this is support for the exhaust right here, and you're able to remove this complete guy out of the way, because this is where you actually will be removing the turbo from this side of the vehicle. Okay. So I forgot to mention as well, this here will be removed. So you're gonna remove the mount you're gonna loosen the mount at the top, and you got this 1, 2, 3, 4 at the back here. You're gonna remove this whole side support here for the engine. So I think it has to come off because you need this space to remove. As you can see, the turbo is right here. With the turbo down through this way. So this has to come off, this has to come off, and then you're gonna have access to remove the turbo. So you definitely need to support this engine. I'm gonna get myself a jack, trolley jack, for the supporter right here, and this raise the whole engine from this point right here. Okay, so remember to remove to loosen the other mount. Yes, because this whole thing has to go up to give you that extra space. So like I said, I've got my trolley jack here underneath the transmission. I'm going ahead and remove 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts which hold the bracket right here, which is the engine support, which comes to the mount. Here you can see the turbo is right here. This is the components that I've removed. Remove this section here, which is bolted to here. Move that section, and this is the bracket right there. So all that's out, and it gives you, as you can see, a whole bunch of space to work with now. Okay, so the next thing you're going to be disconnecting here, you have a T-socket at the back here, very small T-socket. This is the oil line going in. You got these two right here. Going to remove, this is the oil return line. You got a coolant line right here, which you're going to get from the top. It goes in here. Sorry about the glare. It goes in right here, and there's one at the back here we're going to get from the top as well. The T-socket, I think it's a T25. Yeah, T25, which goes in all the way in here, which connects to the block. I'm going to show you guys from the top. But as well from here, what you can do, as you notice, you have some E-sockets here, E-bolts. There are 3 of these here, which holds the mount. Take this mount out, and you'll have a world of space to work with. So there's no need to jack the engine any higher. Just take this mount out, and you have all the space you need to pull this guy out. Alright guys, so you can see your turbo is out now. I mentioned, last thing I mentioned to you guys, the socket's actually T30s, so you can get a small T30s, quarter-inch drive. They're actually the perfect ones to use to get a turbo. So this is the turbo right here on the ground. Actually, the problem is that actually you have coolant coming out of the turbo, as you can see. So as you know, there's a coolant feed line to the turbo, the 2 lines, and actually this is pretty much what went bad, and it actually was leaking coolant into the turbo itself. Alright, so the turbo is out. You mentioned you have that one line in the back here, all right, and you also have this coolant line here, and also there's another one that plugs in the back here. Okay, so but like I said, it's easier if you remove the mount, all right, and you get all the space here to use. Installation is reverse. If I have time, I'll show the installation. I might make another video for the installation, but this is the removal process. It's a bit tedious, but gets the job done.